Here is everything you actually need to set up your home recording studio, and you do not need to spend a fortune. The link to my Amazon curated lists have studio equipment recommendations for budgets starting at $200 and up. I'm Kimera, vocal producer and home studio vocalist. I've worked with Grammy-winning producers in fancy studios, but to be honest, I do most of my recording at home, and I even spent the entire time I was signed to Sony recording in my closet. So let's go over how to set you up with a few options. Number 1, the bare minimum. Number 2, the super decent but affordable setup. Number 3, the upgraded setup. Let's go. Okay, so here's the bare minimum, so you can literally start like today or tomorrow with what you already have. You can actually try it before you buy it, as long as you've got a laptop, wired headphones, and the free software. I prefer Pro Tools Intro. Is it professional? No, but it's enough to capture ideas, write songs, and try recording without spending any money. Pro Tools Intro is free software to get started, and I have a mini course linked below that walks you through the recording basics. Now, the budget starter setup. We can get you set up for $200 to $500. If you're ready to invest a little but don't want to break the bank, here's what you actually need, and I'll show you each piece in just a minute. The microphone, the audio interface, the XLR cable, mic stand, and closed back headphones. That's it. You can skip the speakers for now. You can skip the fancy acoustic treatment and just sing in the closet like I did. A lot of pro audio stores sell these as discounted bundles, so look for home studio starter kits. You can save a lot of money that way. But if you want to get the best sound on a budget, consider buying at least a nicer $300 to $500 microphone, and then let all the rest of the setup be low budget. But let's get into detail, and here's the full professional setup if you're ready to go all in. Let's go into each component. So the first is the microphone. Here we've got the Shure SM4. This is a super decent starter mic as well. I recommend a condenser microphone with an XLR connection, so not USB. Why does everyone recommend a condenser microphone? Well, condensers are sensitive and they capture a lot of detail, so they're perfect for recording vocals. And mics under $200 can really be hit or miss. I'd rather you buy a cheap interface than a cheap mic. Some mics do include the shock mount and pop filter like this one here. Others require you to buy one separately, so keep that in mind when you're shopping. The shock mount keeps the mic suspended in the stand so it absorbs any vibrations or if you bump into it. The pop filter is going to protect the mic from plosive sounds like P's and B's, those big bursts of air that hit the mic, so that's super important. Next on our list is the mic stand. Get a boom style mic stand, so it's adjustable. You need a mic stand. You can't stand there holding the mic. That will cause problems. Avoid straight mic stands and those podcast mic holders. Those will limit how you can set up and how you can change your setup later. I actually use, this is a kick drum mic stand, so I can put it on my desk, and in my vocal booth I have a shelf and I just sit this on a shelf, but you can use the tall boom stands as well. Okay, and then I mentioned the XLR cable. This is a standard XLR mic cable. Why XLR instead of USB? USB mics are fine for like podcasting or Zoom calls, but for serious vocal recording, you want an XLR cable into an interface. XLR gives you better sound quality, more control, and professional level results. Okay, next, our audio interface. Here is one by Fluid Audio. This is the SRI-2. This is pretty hefty for the price. So what does this even do? The interface is the middleman between your microphone, your headphones and speakers, and the computer. It has a built-in preamp which conditions your audio for a cleaner sound, and you can control your gain levels so you don't distort the mic. Honestly, $99 interfaces work great for starting out. Okay, I want to talk about headphones. You're gonna want to make sure your studio headphones are closed back for recording. Closed back will prevent sounds from leaking out the sides into your mic. Studio headphones give you a more accurate representation of your mix because they're designed for a flat frequency response, which is a truer sound than these enhanced consumer headphones like Beats by Dre's that pump the bass up. Studio monitors, I've got the Yamaha HS10s. Actually just ordered myself a pair of Kali Audio monitors. I can't wait. They're on their way in the mail. Similar Similar to the headphones, these are not regular just computer speakers. These are designed for mixing to give you an accurate sound. However, again, you can get away with mixing in headphones when you're just starting out and if you're on a budget, but once you're ready to invest, monitors are definitely worth it. Keep in mind when you buy monitors, see if cables are included. Some monitors come with them, but you might need to buy 1/4-inch cables to plug them into your interface. And then there's acoustic treatment. That is the environment you're recording in. And this almost matters more than your mic or anything else. A $2,000 mic in a bad room will sound bad. A $200 mic in a treated space can sound professional. What you want is a dampened, controlled sound. So no echo or reverb is bouncing off the walls. That is why I always recommend recording in a closet, because your clothes can dampen the sound. They absorb some of the sound, so you're not going to get that echo. You can upgrade from the closet to fiberglass acoustic panels. I prefer these over foam. That acoustic foam doesn't perform very well in my opinion. It only really absorbs the high frequencies. I actually made my own acoustic panels by wrapping Owens Corning 703 2-inch panels with fabric. So here's your full studio list recap. You need a computer, recording software, a microphone, shock mount, pop filter, XLR mic cable, mic stand, audio interface, closed back studio headphones, studio monitors, and acoustic treatment. That is everything you need for a home studio setup. You don't need to buy it all at once. Start with the essentials, upgrade as you go. The most important thing is to just start. Record with what you have and improve your setup over time. If you want to learn how to actually use all this gear, check out my free mini course, How to Record Vocals from Home. The link is in the description below. And I think you'll like this playlist next, full of vocal production tutorials. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.